2 wins, 0 DNFs, third in the standings. The best start to a season he had ever put together. He was building something. And then on lap 89 of 400 in the biggest points race on the calendar, he got loose on the top lane, lost the car completely, and nosed into the inside wall before anyone could do anything about it. One mistake, one night. And just like that, the championship picture shifted in ways that are going to take weeks to fix. To understand how bad Sunday night was, you have to start 3 weeks before Charlotte. On May 3rd, Chase Elliott won the Worth 400 at Texas Motor Speedway. He led 87 laps, took control after lap 152, and held off Denny Hamlin on a 4-lap shootout at the end. It was his second win of the 2026 season. His first 2 wins in a season this early had never happened before in his career. In 2022, his best year outside of the 2020 title run. He did not have 2 wins until race 17. In 2026, he had 2 by race 11. After Texas, reporters pointed to the consistency numbers, and they were hard to argue with. Through 11 races, Elliott had 5 top 5s and 7 top 10s. He had not finished worse than 23rd all year. He had not had a single DNF 0. He was 3rd in the standings with 422 points, sitting 153 behind Tyler Reddick, close enough to be a real threat if Reddick had one bad race. His crew chief Alan Gustafson had the number 9 team operating as well as it had in years. They short-pitted at Martinsville to win the first race. They ran a clean, controlled race at Texas to win the second. The strategy calls were sharp. The pit stops were fast. Elliott himself said the team was digging in and it was showing. That was the version of Chase Elliott that arrived at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Sunday night. Now here is what he has never been able to figure out at this particular track. Elliott said it himself after the crash. He did not try to spin it or make excuses. Standing on pit road with his night already over, he looked at the cameras and said, "It's been a terrible race, I feel like, throughout the course of my career. I've just crashed a bunch." That is a 2-time Martinsville winner, a man who had just beaten the entire field at Texas 3 weeks earlier, admitting that one specific race has beaten him repeatedly, and the record backs him up. In 2023, he was taken out in a wreck involving Denny Hamlin before the race even reached halfway. In 2026, he crashed out on his own before Stage 1 was even done. Charlotte's 600 miles have a way of ending his night early, and the results page shows it. The track itself is part of the problem. Charlotte Motor Speedway is a 1.5-mile quad oval where the high line can give you speed, but it demands the car be completely planted underneath you. The moment it starts to get loose up there, the wall is very close and very fast. Drivers who are struggling for pace often move up to the top, trying to unlock something. Sometimes it works. More often, it does not. On lap 89, with about 10 laps left in Stage 1, Elliott was running 17th. He had been slipping backward for most of the stage. The car was not where it needed to be. He told his crew he was bleeding pretty bad in terms of track position. The number 9 needed something, or Stage 1 was going to end with no meaningful stage points and a compromised pit strategy heading into Stage 2. He moved to the top of the track coming off Turn 2. The car got loose. Then it got more loose, and then there was nothing he could do. The number 9 Chevrolet spun off Turn 2 and nosed into the inside SAFER barrier on the back straight. Third caution of the race, lap 89 of 400. The damage was bad enough that the car had to be towed behind the wall. Elliott climbed out, was evaluated at the care center, and cleared. The car was not. It did not come back out. His final finishing position was 37th in a 39-car field. He scored 1 point. In the biggest race on the points schedule, with the most laps and the most points available all year, Chase Elliott earned 1 point. "I just made a mistake," he said. "I stepped over the line and paid the price." There was no second car involved. No tire failure that could explain it away. No debris on the track that forced a reaction. He moved to the high line, trying to find speed. The car snapped loose, and the night was over. Now keep that 1-point number in your head as we look at what happened to the championship while he sat in the garage. The Coca-Cola 600 matters, more than any other points race on the calendar. At Charlotte, drivers run 400 laps around a 1.5-mile oval, completing 600 miles. That is not just a marketing number. More laps means more stage points available. More stage points means the gap between finishing 37th and finishing in the top 5 is as wide as it gets all season. While Elliott sat behind the wall, Denny Hamlin ran his Toyota to a third-place finish. Hamlin won Stage 2, collected stage points, and piled on regular race points through the night. Before Charlotte, Elliott was 153 points behind Reddick and just ahead of Hamlin in third. After Charlotte, Hamlin sat at 455 points to Elliott's frozen 422. That is a 33-point swing in one race, and it happened the fastest way possible. Elliott stopped scoring while Hamlin kept going. Tyler Reddick led 119 laps and finished fourth. He was already 153 ahead of Elliott going in. Now that gap grew again. Christopher Bell won Stage 3 and finished second behind Suarez. Ty Gibbs and Chris Buescher also gained ground. Elliott did not lose the race Sunday night. He lost 3 weeks of work in about 90 laps. Before Charlotte, the championship picture still had Elliott very much in it. 2 wins already locked him into the playoffs. He was third in points. The plan made sense. Stay consistent, keep winning at the tracks that suit the number 9 car, let Reddick have a bad day somewhere and chip away. Charlotte is where that plan took a real hit. The NASCAR playoffs reward consistency, but they also punish big negative outliers. A 37th place finish in a race this long is about as bad an outlier as a driver can have. All the good results from earlier in the year get weighed against a night where you scored 1 point at the worst possible time. Going into the summer stretch, with races stacking up before the playoff cut happens, Elliott is now further back in points than he was after Texas. Hamlin is ahead of him in the standings, and Hamlin has been running well all season. Ryan Blaney is still close behind. The margin for error that Elliott had built up over the first 11 races just got thinner in a single night. His playoff position is safe. That is not the issue. The issue is seeding. Where a driver sits in points at the end of the regular season affects how they enter the playoff rounds. More points means more cushion to survive a bad race in the elimination rounds. Elliott just gave up points he earned across an entire month of solid work, and he gave them up at Charlotte, the race worth more points than any other single event. Chase Elliott has not won a championship since 2020. That year, he was the best driver in the field for most of the season, won 5 races, and closed it out at Phoenix. In the 6 seasons since then, he has not finished higher than 4th in the standings. Injuries cost him time in 2022. Inconsistency cost him other years.